The air inside the prison chamber was thick with static and iron. The walls hummed faintly from the power of the containment fields, glowing with a sickly violet light. Chains clinked softly as the two alien sisters shifted, their silver skin bruised and scratched, their once regal armor stripped away. They called them the Chained Sisters, once warriors of the astral dominion, now prisoners of war. And me? I was the Deathworlder they'd brought in to interrogate them. To them, Deathworlder was a curse word. Humanity came from a world so violent, so unpredictable, that the galaxy itself feared us. On most planets, even the plants tried to kill you. But on Earth, life thrived on the edge of extinction every single day. It made us something different, harder. I stood before them, my shadow stretching across the cold floor.
"You know why I'm here," I said quietly. The older sister, Lysera, they said her name was, lifted her head, her eyes the color of molten gold.
Despite the chains, her posture remained proud. "You'll get nothing from us, human," she hissed, her voice dripping with venom. The younger one, Saren, turned her gaze away. Her breathing was shallow. She couldn't have been older than 20 in human years. "I'm not here to hurt you," I said. "I just need to know where your fleet is regrouping. It could save lives, yours too," Lysera laughed bitterly. "You think mercy exists on a death world? I've read your files. You burn your own forest for war, poison your seas, and call it progress. Don't pretend you understand mercy." I stayed silent. There was no point denying it. Saren stirred, her chains rattling. "Make it quick, Deathworlder," she whispered. "If you're going to break us, do it fast." "I don't want to hear your lies," her voice trembled, but not from fear. It was exhaustion. She'd been through days of alien interrogation before they brought me in. I exhaled slowly and sat down across from them, leveling my gaze. "You think I enjoy this?" I asked. "I've seen enough dying to last 10 lifetimes. I'm trying to stop more of it." Lysera's golden eyes flared. "Then release us. Let us die on the battlefield, not like animals in a cage." I leaned forward. "You want to die? Fine. But tell me this first. Why did you surrender?" That silenced her. No one in the astral dominion surrendered. Their creed forbade it. To fight until the last breath, the last drop of starlight. That's what they said. But these two had given themselves up alive. Saren looked at her sister, hesitant. "Lysera," she began. "Don't!" Lysera snapped, but there was a tremor in her tone. I waited. Silence stretched like a blade between us. Finally, the younger one broke. "We didn't surrender," Saren said softly. "We were betrayed," I frowned. "By who?" "The High Regent," she spat, bitterness in every syllable. "He used us as bait. Said our unit would draw out your fleet, that we'd be remembered as heroes. But when we called for extraction, no one came." Lysera's head fell slightly. The defiance in her face cracked, just for a moment. I could see it then, the weight of betrayal. "The kind that crushes everything inside a person. So you hate your regent," I said. "Why protect him?" "Because our people will be executed if we speak," Lysera said sharply. "You wouldn't understand. Honor binds us tighter than these chains." I stood and turned away, pacing. "Honor," I murmured. "Funny word. On Earth, we used to say the same thing while burning each other alive." When I turned back, both sisters were watching me. Lysera's expression was unreadable now, while Saren's eyes brimmed with something softer, curiosity, maybe even pity. "Why are you here, Deathworlder?" Lysera asked suddenly. "What drives you? Glory? Duty?" I met her gaze. Survival. For a moment, the room was utterly still. Then I added quietly, "You call my world a death trap. You're right. We learned to live with constant danger. We adapted. We helped each other. Because if we didn't, if we let our pride or our politics get in the way, we died. Maybe that's why I'm here now. To stop everyone else from making our mistakes." Saren tilted her head. "You think peace is possible? Between us?" I shrugged. "It has to be," Lysera scoffed. "You sound like a child." "Maybe," I said. "But children grow up, and they remember who hurt them." Her jaw tightened. The words seemed to land somewhere deep inside her. I stepped closer to the chains and tapped the energy cuffs on her wrists. The field crackled faintly. "You said your people will die if you talk. What if I told you there's another way?" Saren's eyes widened. "What way?" "I can fake your deaths," I said. Your regent will think the humans executed you for refusing to cooperate. Meanwhile, you disappear, you live, maybe even start over somewhere far from this war. Lysera's eyes blazed. You think we'd run? Live like cowards in the shadows? I think you've done enough dying for your regent's pride, I said evenly. And I think your sister wants to live. That hit her hard. Saren's head bowed, her lip trembling. I just want it to stop, she whispered. Lysera's shoulders slumped. For the first time, she looked tired. Not defeated, just human in her own alien way. Why? She murmured. Why would you risk your command to help your enemy? I hesitated. There was no simple answer, because I'd seen this before. Because once, long ago, a captured enemy soldier had spared me, and it changed everything I believed about monsters. Finally, I said, because maybe you're not my enemy. She stared at me for a long moment, searching for a lie. Then she looked away. I'll think about your offer, Lysera said at last. I nodded, stood, and left the chamber. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying their words. Betrayed, bait, honor. Our intelligence team confirmed it the next morning. The astral regent had already declared the sisters dead. Their families were to be cleansed of dishonor. That was all I needed to know. I returned to their cell without authorization. The lights flickered as I deactivated the force field. Saren gasped when she saw me. You came back. Quiet, I said. We don't have much time, Lysera frowned. What are you doing? Keeping my promise. I held up 2 cloaking injectors, experimental tech that could mask biosignatures for a few hours. We're leaving, Lysera hesitated. If this is a trick, then I die too, I said. So make your choice. She studied me for a long moment, then nodded. Very well, Deathworlder. We follow. The alarms began wailing before we even reached the hangar. Security drones swept the corridors, lights flashing red. We ducked behind a fallen beam as plasma bolts scorched the walls. Go left, I shouted. Saren stumbled, her legs weak from confinement. I caught her arm, pulling her forward. Lysera covered us with a stolen rifle, firing precise bursts that shattered the drones mid-air. You're not bad for someone who was chained up, I said as we ran. She smirked faintly. And you're not bad for a Deathworlder. We reached the shuttle bay, a small maintenance craft sitting idle, half repaired. I sprinted for the controls. Get in! The sisters climbed aboard as another squad of guards stormed the hangar. Plasma fire rained around us. Lysera snarled and grabbed the mounted turret, returning fire while I powered up the engines. Hold on! I yelled. The shuttle roared to life and burst from the hangar, streaking into the black void. The stars spread before us like an endless ocean. Hours later, we landed on a small moon far from the front lines. It was quiet here. No warships, no patrols, just a barren landscape and a pale blue horizon. Saren collapsed against a rock, breathing heavily. We're free? She whispered. For now, I said. Lysera walked to the edge of a cliff, staring out at the horizon. What will you tell your people? That you're dead, I said simply, and that maybe the war's a little less cruel tonight. She turned to me. You could have handed us over. You could have been a hero to your kind. I don't need to be a hero, I said. I just need to be human. Lysera stepped closer, studying me. The cold warrior's mask she wore for so long finally fell away. You are strange, Deathworlder, she said softly. You kill with one hand and heal with the other. I smiled faintly. Welcome to Earth's way of surviving. She reached out and touched my arm, hesitant but sincere. If we live, we will remember this, I nodded. That's all I ask. Saren looked up at the stars, her eyes glimmering. Maybe someday, she whispered, our people will stop calling your world cursed. Maybe someday, I said. They'll call it home. We stood there in silence as the first light of the alien dawn broke across the barren moon. The war was still raging beyond the stars. But for that moment, just one fragile, impossible moment, 3 enemies shared the same sky, and it felt like peace.